Alright folks, welcome to EVE Online. So, you want to steal some asteroid ore, specifically moon ore, from from a player-owned station. Well, in this case, an upwell. The moon is fractured, and it's a jackpot. And you're like, great, I want to steal from them while they're sleeping. How do I do it? Well, first of all, is it worth it? If you've recently watched my channel, you'll see that I'm all about Kernite. What's it worth versus Kernite? If I mined 500 units of the best I could find, which is cinnabar, glowing cinnabar, right? Well, I'm assuming it's an R32. That means it's in terms of you'll never have the skill for it but it's called rare moon ore processing, and it's an omega skill, but you don't need that to reprocess it. It's perfectly good. So cinnabar reprocessing will help. You don't get advanced reprocessing. What is it? Reprocessing efficiency. There it is. Reprocessing efficiency. You can't get that. But I have a character. I have a character with almost maxed out mining reprocessing skills. I've never actually skilled any advanced reprocessing skill to 5, even before they did the reset. So what if you had 500 units of this stuff? Well, that character could get 102 evaporites, 68 tungsten, and 340 mercury. I'll bring this over here. Okay, but it's glowing, so it's double. It looks pretty good. All right, it's it's pretty good. Operates like supposedly 5 times the value of that for 1,000, right? So that's 400 per meter, cubic meter, right? So wow, okay, what's that translate to? Well, in real-time terms, my main would get 2.521 million ISK before tax at JITA for that. The prices are a bit different in a Mars space, which is kind of nice, but it would be around there. Okay, so I have 5,000 cubic meters. All right, let's bring up the old divided by 5,000 equals 504 ISK per cubic meter mined of this stuff. You're like, okay, great, but I can get 6 million mining Kernite, selling it to, like, let's bring it up and show you. Kernite. So the comparison, it's always helpful to go, is it worth doing? So it looks like somebody sold a whole bunch of Kernite. The price history will rebound, and it's typically 800. So right now somebody's griefed the market, and it's okay. It's the weekend, so yeah, somebody's exploited the market on the weekend. Usually in the midweek, it's back up to 800. It will. It'll go right back up there. It can't not go back up there. Just can't not. It's the way it is. So yeah. And besides, if it's depressed for a while, it will go back up eventually. It's just patience. But let's just assume that, hey, let's sell it to buyers right now. What's it worth? So, let's see if it is how much do I get? Give me, let's do the math here. Kernite is 0.12 and a 5,000. So anyways, 6 million divided by 5,000 equals, so yeah, so it's almost 3 times more valuable than an R32, a rare moon ore at market. Yeah, but of course this is assuming you reprocess the moon ore and just sell the kernite straight to buyer. So 1.2. Right now, might as well. We got time. So 5,000 divided by 1.2. I'd get, yeah, that's it. So 4166. So 4166 times 641. Right? No. 2 million. All right, so divided by 5,000. So it's around what I'm making. So it's no, it's actually still more valuable. Anyways, so taking that into account, it's approximately, like, it's really good, right? But this stuff is even better. So say if you were lucky enough to bump into one of these roids, how would you go about doing it? Like, cut to the chase. Let's start mining this stuff, you know? So what you do is you go to the grid, you create bookmarks, and it's best to put them in, it's best to put them in two folders. One is for safe spots, like your combat dock, which I'm at right now, the mining laser, because if you warp to the mining laser and you can see the distance from the moon fracture that's approaching slowly with the tractor beam, it's about 130, 150 kilometers from the mining laser. You know it's about to pop. And when it does pop, you warp to grid and you find the most lucrative and you just bookmark them. And make sure you do 0, 1, right? And you bookmark all the valuable ones. And then you have an unload spot, which what you do is, well, you just afterburner away from above, like, give me a sec. Show you what I mean. You're just above here, and you just double click in this direction, right up here, and as soon as you get to about 7,500 meters from the Athenor, it'll take a while. Its radius is quite huge. This is from here to here. Dock ring is 90 kilometers. So yeah, once you get to there, add a bookmark for unload spot, and you can actually dump into a hostile Athenor and use asset safety to get it to an NPC somewhere. But luckily enough, lol, we have a station on grid, which is hilarious. You just warp there, dock up, dump your stuff, and come back. Now, your fit needs to be really good. This is my kernite fit, and I just put a warp core stab in the low slot, and that boosts me to, since I have an inherent +2 already, I get +4 total. So you need more than a faction scram to get me. Typically, when you hear people go on and on about align times and I can do this if you're just blah blah, where my reflexes are lightning fast, cat like. I can warp before they even appear on grid, and I can sense them from a kilometer. Blah 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 blah. They're gonna bump you. If they're any good at PvP, they're gonna bump you. So if you're not Johnny on the spot, and get away, they're going to bump you. So don't get cocky. Yeah, they're going to find a way to bump you if they're smart. They will kind of work cloaked. They will approach you, and as soon as they get decloaked by you, they're hitting their micro warp drive and bumping into you. So yeah, if they know what they're doing, you're dead. But yeah, all things being equal, let's talk about how to actually start mining. So you open up your asteroid group folder, and you open your safe group folder, and you have them all there. And I've just made them disappear, and they look like this. And you go, this is cool. And I swear I had one. Did I not place it? It's right there. Yeah, there it is. Oh, it's not in the group folder. It's actually in the dirt. So I had a bookmark right there for warp-in. I'm going to call it a warp-in. It's right next to a whole bunch of them. And I'm going to warp to it, and I'm going to adjust it a bit so I'm just under 16 kilometers from those roids, and I'm just going to set up my usual. There was, maybe, is he still here? No, somebody was trying to get me before, but he's not here. This person should be awake, but I haven't seen anything. Like, you check. You check Ezekiel, and you go to the system, and you check, has there been any kills during this time? Right? It's like 0 $100, and you go down, and is there anything? There's one, and that was right on blink. And who else? Or any of those? Here. I don't see them. So he could actually be asleep. AFK could actually be asleep. Alright, so 16 kilometers. Hey, I called it right. 21, 20. Okay, well, maybe not. So what I'd like to do is align to the station, right? So you align to the station. And hit distance. Yeah, align by name when you're, order by name or type when you're actually bookmarking all those roids. So 19. So I want to get to 16 from that. Is that going to work? Yeah, it'll work. So I'll get rid of this. Warp-in. And general, just in case somebody warps to me. Targets, actually. Warp-in. Warp-in. And as soon as that sucker, in 2 days, it's going to pop in 2 days or something like that if it's not rigged. So it doesn't, there we go. I'll do that. So there's my warp-in. So I'll land within 2,500 meters of that, and I just go approach location. You know how I do it. Double tap that one, get my lasers going. Don't need to pop the drones, don't need to pop this. I'm not going to refit this specifically for moonlight stealing. It's just whatever, right? Also, the main thing you need to worry about is if somebody logs in as a gunner. That's your only kind of concern, because it probably has a point on it. So, yeah. Yeah. So we'll align, we'll approach, and we'll target our roids. Hello. Oh, I have a workhorse tab. Silly me. So that'll work. I'll just have to adjust it to, yeah, when you have workhorse steps, you're slightly constrained. So maybe what I'll do is, since if they catch me I'm dead, I'll just put targeting boosters, sensor boosters, CBOs on my totally right. Yeah, this is if you're actively being hunted. If somebody's just actually hunting you constantly, and if they're warping off grid or decloaking or just ticked off that you're getting away and they just sit there waiting for you to come back, well, you warp to that unload spot. Pick a spot that you think is like less than 150 kilometers from that person sitting there glowering at you, and you just warp to that droid and start mining it. And they have to slow burn to you. Unless they have a warp in of their own. Sometimes they can do that by warping to the moon mining beacon, but for whatever reason, this person has either accidentally or purposely made it so you can't easily warp to the moon mining beacon and then warp back. So they'll have to make a ping themselves and do it, but you'll see them. So you'll get a little bit of warning. But yeah, this is how you do it. But yeah, you can sit Dogo. You just not move at all, right? You can just go, well, screw it. I got my warp core stab. If they bump me, they bump me. It's no big deal. And you just sit here and mine. But like I said, it's still not, even now with the market depressed for Cronite, this is still, it's a jackpot R32 and it's still not worth it. So yeah, lol. Yeah, so that's how you do it. Lots of fun. Yeah. Now, yeah, there's no way of preventing somebody from doing it properly. You're gonna die if they do it right. Cloak, approach, decloak, like warp drive. You're gonna bump them, and if they're smart about it, that's what's gonna happen every single time. I would try to yeah, and people have been bumping people like this since freaking release, and nobody ever talks about it on the forums because they're a bunch of trolls. And they always say, oh, if you line or if you're good enough, and nobody ever talks about bumping in that context. It's freaking hilarious. So yeah, I mean, you want to be able to instantly warp because it's going to be human error. They know when they're going to decloak. You don't. It could be any time. What do you, cat reflexes? Like superhuman? On meth all the time? Maybe they're on crack. These people are on crack all the time. It's okay. There you go. So yeah. Oh yeah, I like orbit camera, and then when you go that, you can see it, and also keep. Wait, they change everything. Dynamic camera movement on, and that way when you look at something, your camera will be slightly offset to your ship. Otherwise, you'll be like, oh, cute. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. Boop. Okay. So yeah, it'll take a while to mine. You have 2 cubic meters per second for each of them, so that's 4 cubic meters. It's pretty good. I mean, this is a character with totally well, I have added a couple of skills to myself, but I don't think that's anything relevant to. Yeah, this is straight out of the box. Well, the Venture's not straight out of the box, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I'd have Helicon, I'd have 2 sensor boosters. Let's freaking theorycraft right now. Might as freaking well. Threshold scan. Wow. Simulate. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Higgs rig, yeah. Don't need that. Don't need that. I would recommend not putting on any rigs except the Higgs. Well, not even that. Let's just screw it. We're just gonna sit Dogo and mine like a silly bugger. That's 100% what we're gonna do. That's what we do. Because if yeah, we don't have to worry about any rats at all at this these days. Sure, fine, whatever. I could usually, yeah. All right, so target range is 17. Perfect, we're back to normal. And we don't even need any scripts, so it would be smart if we use scripts so we could put something else there, but I don't think anything else is required. And if they catch you, you can always go with a, go with a ship scanner. What do they equip with when they're blowing you up? Just out of morbid curiosity. But yeah, no. I don't know. It's like, whatever, just plug in and don't even worry about scripts. You're good. Just fire them all off. You're decent. Yeah. Are these the cheapest? Like, what's the cheapest? We're in domain. 10,000. Some nice person is selling it at the noob station. Compact. Probably compact. Yeah, see, that's built. This is loot. Yeah. So, yeah, don't always assume Tech 1 is cheap. Check the other stuff, because loot's always cheaper. So yeah, 3 of those. Oh yeah, perfect. Compact. So let's go. Are these compact? Yeah. So yeah, pittance. Plug it in. Who cares? You die. Whatever. Yeah. If they don't know what they're doing, they'll just try to target you. Most people are lazy. So yeah, there you go. Piece of cake. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I've already got 1 load of this stuff. Yeah, that's the thing. Most people, well, not most, well, yeah, half and half. It's half and half. Half of the people think they're going to scare you away by having presence in the system and then going, danger. But after 20 years of playing this game, it's like, oh, right, that's the type. They want to own the system by leaving a character AFK and just, they're sleeping or at work or whatever. And it's like, or they're doing something else and they just don't care. I mean, I could bet you any money that this multi-boxer is still awake and mining in the next system in the high sec. In Urzo, there's a high sec island. Bet you anything I can go there and his what was he using? Machinos? His Machinos will be in space. See? He's got 12 pilots in space mining away. Probably an Orca, Hauler, and a bunch of Machinos. Or maybe even not, because, compression, right? So he's safe. In high sec, why should he... risk getting risk getting dropped on by capitals or blobs, right? Anyways, do. And I'm pretty sure the upwell point is infinite, so to speak. So if that thing targets me and you don't get any warning that it's targeting you, you just get that blinky yellow icon when they've targeted you. So yeah, I'd be like, oopsie. So I'd be popped, but it's probably too busy in ISAC. Well, if he's in a gunnery position and he's got guys camped in his Fortizar, it's within D-scan range, so he'd see me. easily enough. Yeah. But yeah, it's not common for his, like, all his killers who are killing things in this system are typically not getting kills at this time. And if I go and check, like, let's go check, like, this is a kill for around this time. So, is he online around this time? No, not really. Ish. I don't know. How about this guy? I know, I'm totally paying attention to the local, aren't I? Babby. Targets. Or, yeah, right blank, so, ish, right? And around this time, you start to get less traffic, so you're like, oh, everybody's active 1,800 hours. That's because their victims are usually active 1,800 hours, right? That's where most people are oot and boot. Uncommon, but I don't see him. And Desmond James is... Yeah, I mean, he should be ganking me right now. What day is it? Oh, is this... No, it's not Sunday. Is it Sunday? Saturday. Yeah, I hate time zones. Yeah. Probably sees me and goes, trap! Because this is going to light an industrial sino, which covert ops can blops to. If you didn't know that, yeah. Oh yeah, people will drop battleships on tiny little noob ventures. It's it's a thing. For shits and giggles, while we're waiting, let's bring up Ventures. Hello, Mr. Venture. How many deaths have you had so far? Today, it's 0100 hours, so just in the last hour. But okay, so this is yesterday, so I'm sure there's 8 pages. It's a Friday, right? Or whatever. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yeah, welcome to Eve. Welcome to Eve. Yeah, I'm figuring 8 pages. I mean, I'm assuming 8 pages, the usual for the weekend-ish, right? You could be wrong. Yeah. Welcome to Eve. 8 solid pages. Typical. Yeah. Hilarious. Yeah, that's what you do. You got sensor boosters. You could do the warp-in thing, and with the Higgs rig, you could wander past and then be instantly into warp if you got hostiles. But if nobody's attacking you, you just hit stop and stay still and whatever, right? How quickly can, like, can I bring up is there a stopwatch on my computer? Clock. I have a clock. Oh wow. Okay, so I'm gonna stopwatch. How am I going to do this? Crap. No, hell, I'll just use my cell phone. Where's my cell phone? I don't have it with me. Whatever. So yeah, typically you can get into work pretty quick. I don't need to tell you guys. I think we've all matured enough in this game and have enough intelligence to realize that your best bet to getting into work quickly, you just don't move. It's period. It doesn't matter what direction you're facing. It's just the reason I say that, and I'm so glib about it, is because we have the fitting area now. We didn't used to. It says align time from full stop. It's it used to be a thing where it would be a thing that people would troll people on the on the forums, and you'd fall for it too. Oh, if I could just align and go like 8 meters per second, I'll go into warp faster. Once we got this, it was from full stop, and you're like, oh, and then it's like, but, and you start thinking, oh, so it doesn't matter see it doesn't matter which direction the icon and everything, it just self-explanatory now, and people don't fall for that troll anymore. And misconception or whatever, I mean, people try everything when they're desperate to avoid getting ganked. But yeah, I mean, these days I don't make a video about it because it's unless you're reading the forums, which you shouldn't, you should be okay. You could figure it out. I think we're grown men. We can figure this and the occasional woman. We can figure this shit out. I know. I think the ganker gave up on me. I was getting away too easily. I'm pretty sure. Is this person docked? Pretty sure they were docked. If they're not, they're cloaked somewhere off the belt. But yeah, this multi-boxer is active. Or maybe not. Maybe this is another multi-boxer and they have 2 multi-boxers. I mean, I can't see any reason. Well, I can think of 2 good reasons he's not. A, trap, and B, he could be, he'll gank me later when I get complacent. As everybody gets complacent. I'm being complacent 90% of this video. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to lose a lot. This is probably worth about, how much is, like, I've got some good stuff on here, so it is worth a bit. I've got rigs and stuff for dealing with rats, and it's worth about $1 million to purchase it, Amar, to replace my standard stock you've seen and you can find in my noob skill plans chat. But the cheap version, if I had just no rigs except, well, I don't even need the Higgs rig. Well, I could. I mean, I definitely would get the Higgs rig and then go in at the warp in, turn on my sensor boosters, and cruise the Yasser belt aligned to my warp out. You know, combat docks. You can dock and dump your ore. But, yeah. We don't have to dodge rats. You might as well just sit doggo. Oh, almost done. I know. Yeah, you don't have to listen to Muffy talk anymore. Alright, so, Rapidy tap. Oh, by the way, I'm sure you guys know, but this is no longer passive. You have to activate it. So, if I'm stock still, not moving, it'll take me a few seconds to get into warp. Plus, I have to order the warp, so that's a 1 or 2 seconds. And somebody will probably target you by the time you've done that. Just make sure right before you do that, you just hit F8, activate that. I always put my emergency stuff in F8 mostly, and then hit F8 and then order your warp to 0, and it'll happen. If you don't do it that way, they could warp scramble you, then you've got to hit it, then you've got to do it again, and they could, if they've got enough DPS, or they can bump you. So yeah, if they're gonna do it the way I suggested, you're dead anyways. But you just watch out for their character. You go, oh, okay, he's smart enough to kill me a lot. I'll just be careful. You know. There's always other systems. There's always other belts. There's always stupider PvP players, and don't worry, there's always a stupider one. A bigger fish in the sea? No, no. There's always a bigger fish. No, there's always a stupider fish. Don't worry about it. And they're just used to people just being dumb. I mean, how often do people go through the trouble of doing it intelligently? Having a plan, having warp outs. Most people are just warp to it and go derp and panic when they get attacked, and they don't do anything intelligent and they just die. Yeah, it's typical. It means the rest of us can squeak by with our smarts and get a leg up on people who assume we're going to be dumb. That's all it is. And they're lazy, and most people are lazy, and they'll just give up. Or they'll get smarter. Which is a good thing, because it's awesome to actually, be prepared. Because it's kind of boring if somebody's not actually making the effort to catch you. Right? What's the fun in that? Anyways. Zoom. And I like making my combat dock, furthest as possible away I can from the undock. It probably doesn't matter a lot, but I like doing it that way. Yeah, so all these bookmarks in the asteroid thing are 2-day old, but the rest of them are permanent, because why not? There's an RS-32 here, might as well, but like I said, it is absolutely not worth it. Go mine Kernite. Don't waste your time. Anyways, think that's how you do it. Thanks for watching. The whole moon probing, there is ability to find out which moons around are, but it's very expensive. I would not recommend it. And it's something beyond the canon of this video, but it is possible to find out what those are, and to find the R64s in LowSec. They are there. It's possible. And if you're interested in being sneaky and having fun like this, sure, why not? But for the most part, just, go around, find LowSec upwells, right-click them, and add them to a collection of bookmarks for yourself, and you just, eventually you'll see them fractured, and figure out what you want to steal from. It's fun. I had a setup where I was going to do barges, like cheap barges with alts, so nobody knew who I was. But unfortunately, the friends of my friends are the people who own the local low-sec upwells around that I know about. So it was like, they know it's going to be me. They know me. They know what I do. So my friends will know what it would be me. It's like, who's doing this? Oh, that's Muffy. They tell him not to. I don't want to ruffle any feathers. Yeah. Even though I like ruffling feathers, sometimes, it might not be good to tick people off. And other times, I would definitely not mind it. Anyways, have yourselves a good one.